So first thing you're going to do is pick the direction you want to wind in. I usually wind in clockwise. Okay, so you take your wire here, you put it down, wind it once around here. Okay, so you have that in there locked in, just like that. Okay, and then all you're going to do is just wind it. Okay, just make sure it's tight, and then every so often just cinch it down. Okay, the important thing about these when you wind them is one simple rule. On the top here, right here, you cannot go beyond this when you have your finished product. This piece right here will not fit. Okay, so you don't have to be perfect on this, but I always like to try to keep it as nice as I can. So I don't really want to bore you guys with a ton of wiring, so I'm going to kind of do it fast. Just make sure you get your edges in there. You don't have any bent wires. If you bend anything that crimps over to a 90-degree angle or something, you have to start over. It will break, and it will make a very bad connection, which will start a fire inside of your core. Okay, so suggested you probably put this thing on some kind of screwdriver and wheel or setups on your main core thing if you want. Now the amount of windings, you don't have to count them necessarily. It's just what your preference is, okay? Just make sure that the block is covered up. That's kind of the main thing. Okay, so now that we have some wound on there, take a look at that. Not too bad, covered. Here comes the good part. You also may need a pair of scissors. Okay, so we're going to take this right here. Sorry, give me a second. Big old fumbling hands. All you need to know on this, when you tape it, is you want to get it around a couple times and you want to get the whole thing covering the wire. So there we go. We have it put right here, tight. Now you notice I didn't clip the wire. That's for a good reason, okay? You bring it right down here to the bottom, okay? And it's going to go over the next wire, okay? When you're done right here on the wrapping, okay? So we're going to go around this. Okay, nice and tight. Stay within the plastic there. We went around 3 times. Cut it, make sure you got a clean edge. Okay, at this point you have a core, okay? Here's your wire still attached right here. We're going to go ahead and wind this again. Now, just so you know, all a transformer is, it's a magnetic field separated by a dielectric in several layers. What does that mean to you? Just means you put tape in between it, okay? That's it. That's a simplified version, okay? You could talk about multiplication of magnetic fields and it reduces the amount of amps in there. But look, let's just make it simple for all of us. It's just tape, okay, between layers. That's it. That's all you really got to remember here, okay? Again, the first thing we're going to do here is just wind until we get a decent amount of wire on here, okay? If you really want to count it, be my guest, okay? Alright, so when you're done with this layer, okay, I'm going to put a few more on here. I don't like to see anything that has the black on there. I like it kind of cleaned up a little bit. There we go. Nice and clean looking. Okay, good transformer. Here we go. This is the end of one this is the one I'm doing. It's only got 2 layers in it. we're going to bring this to the opposite side of the wire you put in first. Okay? And all you're going to do is wrap it right here. Okay? You're going to cut it just like that. Now these ends, you're going to have to clean them off. And I like to solder them to these pins so they stay there. Okay? But now, quick check. We're still within our boundary there, and we're doing just fine. Okay. Now this layer is going to be a little different, only because we're going to have a different wire going on, and that's our driving coil. Okay. This is our flyback part. Okay. Now most of you look at the DC flyback and you're putting the winding of the wire onto your ZVS. Well, this is what this next one's going to be. Okay. It's separate from this complete wire setup here. You want to put an extra winding on your tape here, probably about 4. Alright, so now we got it nice and clean. Let's take a look at it. Nice and clean. We got room on here. When we check out the room right here is the most important. Okay, right here. Here's our wire we're going to use. So when we look at it, compared to that, we're going to come right under it. You can see it right there, right under it. So you have these two here. Okay, they're on the back two. This is going to start your layer for this one. Okay. You go to the far end over here. Just going to put your wire here. Okay. Now I like to go a little bit up. I don't want anything to do with the wrap over part right here. I want it to be about right there. Okay. I always worry that no matter what I do, it's going to be over. So I'm going to try to get these as tight as I can. And this is a thicker wire, so it's a little easier to work with. I would have left myself enough here. That's a mistake on my part. I didn't unhook that. It's alright. So let's take a look, tighten this up. So like I said, this is our driving coil, so this goes to your ZVS. Okay. And let me get that tight on there, right up there. Okay, you're just going to take your thumb and clean it up. Get it as tight as you possibly can in here. Sorry guys if I'm missing the camera. I'm trying to wind this at the same time. Now, where you want to end up after you put this thing together is on the opposite side of this one. Here's where we started at. It's where we're going to finish. So there we go. We started here. We finished here. Okay. Now, we notice that we got this side and this side, this side and this side. Okay. Now I'm going to clean this up real quick and tape it. And then that's our driving coil for this. And then this transformer will be ready for testing. The cleaner you do on this part right here, on this one, the better off you're going to be. You want them tight, you want them together. You want to seam them as much as you can. So if you got to take a few minutes and fiddle with this thing to tighten it up, I suggest you do it. Okay. The other layers are not so worried about. This one I am. And this these things don't always like to agree with you. I like to get this last one straight down if I can. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Almost keeps wanting to unwind a little bit. Tighten that up. There we go. We got that tape on there. This layer of tape, again, you have to watch it on this. I suggest as you go, you take this piece here and you put it over and you make sure it fits. You don't want to go beyond that. You will break that piece of iron ferrite right there very easily. Trust me, I've done it. Matter of fact, this one right here, I snapped it in a couple places, had to glue it back together. Probably not a very good core at this point. So there we go, we're snug. So my tape has to stop. Don't force this. If it feels forced, do the tape over. Okay? You now have all four of these. That piece goes in there. The only thing left now is you have to strip these back, solder them to the pins, okay? And then you're going to take this tape. You can glue here, which the factory does. I don't do that only because I want to be able to get back in here if it blows up, and if you glue it, you're done. It'll be trash. Because the like I said, the iron ferrite, it'll just break. That's all it does. So now we tape it. We get it tight so that these right here come together on both sides. Okay. There we go. Hopefully I got everything in the camera where you can see everything. But that's it. That's our core. Okay. You can go ahead and solder this up. You can put ends on it. Okay. I usually just use a razor blade and I scrape these off, get them ready, and solder them to the pins. Okay. If you don't scrape off the coating, it will not work. So you have to do it. Anyway, that's the core. And I hope this helps you guys out. I'll go ahead and solder this off real quick and take a picture. This is your ZVS to your core now. I went ahead and soldered everything off, put wires into it. You can take a look here. This is my side that went down first. It wrapped, then it went out to this side. So the blue side here goes into this side. This side is B, side is A. Black goes into A. A went down first, went out to B. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. When you wire this one here, I wound it so that this one, the white one, that one went down first. Then this one was the exit of that. So it's the last part of the winding that came out and got soldered here. Now I connected this right here, this side, connected to your multiplier here on the positive side. Then the white wire right here is my negative side. Okay, so hopefully you can see the direction everything went. I just verified that it worked. Obviously you saw it in the last video. On the negative side, this is the positive at the very end. And I just checked and see to make sure we got good connection. I have a circuit here. I'm going to go ahead and hook up my battery to my ZVS. I have an AC flyback coil. There's no diodes in this. We have a voltage multiplier that I bought off of Amazon, and I just want to see if it all works. This I made myself. I use two different types of wire. I have AWG 30 in there and AWG 26. It's wrapped about 3 layers thick on the AWG 30. Then I put tape over it. Then I wrapped it again for another 2 layers. Then I put tape over it, okay? And I soldered, you can see both sides, the smaller wire right here on this one and this white one. And then a bigger wire that wraps over it one time, okay? And then I put tape on it, and those go to these 2 right here on the other one. Now, let's see if this circuit works, and let's see if we get exactly what I wanted out of it. And hopefully, cross our fingers, we don't blow up. Okay, here we go. Go ahead and see if we got it. Now we're cooking. We got something good here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down, and then I'm gonna get it ready and see if I can't lift a lifter with it.